Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Night Stream, or Saturday Night Stream this
Yeah.
time. And tonight we are talking about the upcoming season of Power Rangers Beast Morphers.
Yes, the American adaptation of Tokuma Sentai Go Busters, if I pronounce that correctly.
Tokume Sentai.
Yeah. Tokume Sentai Go Busters. So what's interesting about this is this will be the first non-Saban based Power Ranger season since 2009. Even though it was in production while Saban's still in the rights, but I'm pretty sure when it was put into production, they had all the stuff planned and everything. They were already making deals with Hasbro behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure that's how it was going.
More or less. I think it's because this seems to be at least inspired by the Go Busters plot.
Yes. But from what I've read of the plot, it seems more like they're going to be doing some fixing of the messed up continuity Saban had already got themselves into.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like, and I hate to say it, I don't think Saban should be doing Power Rangers anymore. He did a great job getting it over here. But I think at this point in time, he's just kind of caught in a loop.
Yeah, stuck in the whole '90s way of making kid shows. And it doesn't translate well now.
Because he's not really a writer; he's a localizer.
Right. And his writers. Here, I got something I want to tell you. One of my friends, who actually one of my close friends, who's a big Power Rangers fan, met the actress who played Gia in Megaforce. And the issue wasn't Saban. The issue is Shuki Levy, one of the writers. And she straight up said in the panel, because here's the thing, everyone hates Super Megaforce and Megaforce, but everyone loves her as a Yellow Ranger. Great Yellow Ranger, terrible season. And so people always root for her. And when she was answering questions in the panel and they asked about the writing issues, she said, I actually pointed out when we were doing a scene from one of the episodes that this is just stupid and makes no sense. And Shuki Leves pulled me over and said to me, who cares? 5-year-olds don't notice this. That, and I quote that too.
Yep, there needs to be a change.
Yep, and I think Hasbro's the right people to do it.
I agree. I really wish.
But let me finish. They passively aggressively said in a statement, while trying to sound nice, but at the same time bashing Saban, and you can tell they were kind of lying as far as giving it credit by saying Power Rangers has been for the last decade has been a good series of storytelling and so forth. Hence storytelling, and they were doing that pretty much just to be professional, I'm guessing. But they said we want Power Rangers. We want to have Power Rangers reach its fullest potential. We felt for the last decade it hasn't reached that, and we're going to make it reach that. That's what they said.
I hope they make good. I hope they make good because I would like to take an interest in American Power Rangers again, American Toku in general.
Mm-hmm. Look at Transformers Prime, Hasbro writers. Heck, if My Little Pony can gain the fandom of a bunch of 40-year-old men watching it for the story, then just think what they can do with Power Rangers.
You know, that's very true. And I'm hoping Hasbro works with Bandai to license shit properly this time.
Oh,
and maybe
sure it's working already.
Can I just talk about like a potential toy fallout thing? Not a fallout, but a domino effect that could lead to something awesome?
Yes.
Hasbro and Bandai do not have a great history when it comes to one of their franchises. I've explained this to you before. Not just Starfire.
Jetfire.
World. Anywho, I'm hoping this bridges a gap. I'm hoping that this means that we will get official girl walk modes in the Transformers continuity. I'm hoping that they can just maybe in a way somehow bridge the universes of Macross and the IDW Mattel universe.
That would be sweet. And then we could get a logical explanation of why Jetfire looked like a Valkyrie.
That's what I'm saying. And that's just what I'm hoping.
Maybe. A canon explanation. You know how the Transformers can scan what they see, and that's how they end up with it.
Well, that's how they can do that now.
Yeah. Somehow in a new continuity, because the new IBDW uses the G1 design. Vaguely.
They're heavily inspired by it.
What if Jetfire scanned a Valkyrie, and that's how he ends up?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
All right. So back on the subject of Beast Morphers.
Yes.
They are not gonna have to do much to the toys.
No.
Okay, like I was a long time ago. I reviewed a Morphin brace. I can't find it, but it was like, yeah. All they have to do is remove the Japanese bits and add some other stuff, some vague like English quotes from the show.
What about the "It's Morphin Time"? You think that's too Japanese of an accent?
No, I think they should keep that.
Yes, I think so too.
And it's weird too because unlike the last time, this explains their animal shapes, even though they're vehicle based, as being a weird substance called Morph X.
Sounds like a drug.
I'm not gonna lie, it does sound a bit like a drug. And it's funny because they had. This is exactly what Toei did. They made a movie that kind of answered the question: what if Go Busters actually was an animal Sentai? But this time they're taking it in a completely different direction. They're saying, okay, they already are an animal Sentai. Now, I'm hoping they do something good with it because there were some moments in Go Busters that kind of had me trying to stay awake.
Question: how do you think they're going to deal with the really dark moments of Go Busters, where you had team members getting hostile on each other? You think they'll actually, since Hasbro's doing it, they'll include some more darker tone moments, maybe some blood?
I imagine a little bit of blood, but I imagine what they're gonna do is they're gonna put a few safety pads around it, but they're not gonna get rid of it altogether.
So you think we can expect this to be the first Power Rangers season to actually show drawn blood?
Well, I mean,
we haven't seen blood though. We've seen
Wild Force. We've seen blood.
There was blood in Wild Force. I
saw them bleeding.
Okay.
Not a lot, but a little.
I remember Wasp Galaxy. Maya had a scrape that if you looked at it, you could see blood a bit, but like I'm talking about like Sentai level blood.
Oh no, we're not going to see anything like that.
Okay. Well, really, I mean, it is 2018, and kids play Fortnite, Halo, and all that stuff now. So
yes, but there are rules that film and television companies have to abide by because of their rating system, and they're trying to go for a PG rating here in order to maintain their current audience, which means that they are going to have to they might keep the actual conflict, but we probably won't see the same levels of blood.
Okay, fair enough. You think we'll get better actors though? Better acting, and acting will be a requirement from now on as to be a ranger.
That I can't say. We might get some good actors. Hasbro seems to have a knack for picking actors that sound enthusiastic. So we can hope.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me, and I'm worried about this because the Zord Builder system as a toy line has already had a lot of, well, pardon my language, but clusterfucky shit done to it. And in Go Busters, the Megazord is the most hearts-forming, just cobbled together. There's too many. You have to disassemble them like friggin' Legos. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't like the. I did not like the mech of that season.
So you think Hasbro should fix that issue?
I don't know if they can. They might be able to try, because I mean it's not like they haven't come up with their own. It's not like Power Rangers hasn't had its own original American stuff come up. Being, it hasn't had its own. It's not like Power Rangers hasn't taken creative liberties in the past. I mean, we got the Mercury Ranger,
and we also got the
Titanium Ranger.
Titanium, yeah.
Sorry, not Mercury. That was the awful. He existed to begin with, but Titanium was like, he was an American original.
I love Lightspeed Rescue. Lightspeed Rescue is actually I'd say is the high level of where Power Rangers should be, still, or strive to be.
I could see that. I could agree with that. Personally, I thought Wild Force was a really good attempt.
Definitely.
But anyway, what I'm hoping for, what I'm really, really hoping for, is if there is creative license taken, heavy creative license taken, they redesign the Zords, because
I
didn't like them.
Well, they could get Toei to do it. They've done it before.
That is true. Now,
Zyuranger Season 2, as it was codenamed.
Anyway.
Question though, now that Hasbro owns it, if they want to go the extra steps, what makes you think they would bring Power Rangers to a level of using maybe Akiba Ranger stock footage and making a parody one shot for the adult fans? Or Akiba Ranger suits and then making a humorous satire one shot. It doesn't have to be a full season, maybe just a one shot, but still.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it likely. I wouldn't say it's out of the question, but I wouldn't call it likely.
Okay.
Because Akiba Ranger, Akiba Ranger, the merchandise from that did not sell well, surprisingly. But that's because it was higher end stuff. It was going to cost more.
Yeah, that, and because it wasn't a show for kids.
That as well.
So what parent would let their kids have a toy from a show they can't watch?
I know it. What you're essentially going to get is like moms taking their kids to Deadpool all over again.
that was a year.
Yeah. So I wouldn't call it likely. What I will say is, with this back in Hasbro's hands, the fact that they took the step to pick one of the non-collectathon seasons from the early Neo Heisei era, Go Busters. Because think about it, Power Rangers is about really close to falling into this pit that Toei fell into, where you have to collect the gimmick. ToQger did it with trains. Gokaiger and Super Megaforce did it with the Ranger keys. Ghostager and Megaforce did it with the cards, and it's just Zyuranger did it with the batteries, and by extension, Beast Chargers, Dino Charge.
Yeah,
it's becoming a cycle, and what I'm hoping is, if by taking on Go Busters, they try to break that. They try to move on from the collectathon aspect of it.
Right. Because let's be honest, I guess I hate to admit it, but fandoms that are collectors based don't really do well anymore as far as popularity goes. They're more very niche.
Yeah, and the thing is, it starts with anniversary seasons, because like Decade kicked this shit off.
And for example, the reason the Voltron fandom don't like the Voltron for the gimmick or the mechs or any of that, they like it for the characters. So I feel like the way Power Rangers needs to succeed in becoming a big fandom, or a bigger fandom than it is right now, is you need to put a lot of better writing material into it. Because if you're just going to have it there with some characters, but its main focus is toys and the visual effects and the cheesiness over top of it, you're really limiting your fandom to just mecha nerds and toy collectors.
Well, I'm a mecha nerd, so watch your language. But um,
well, I am too. Remember?
Well, yes, but I think it can be done right. The problem is overdoing it, because if you're going to write it right, you need to write it so that there is a lot of importance placed on these items, but it's not about, okay, what's the next one? It's about, okay, we've got this. How can we use it so that it's not just another fun thing for the kids to pick up? How can we make this useful and creative?
Yes, I say
it's also the pit. It's also the you go.
Yeah, they should learn from Netflix Voltron.
I have yet to start that, but I think, like I said, it can be done right. Like if Netflix Voltron doesn't just focus on just the characters over the mech or just the mech over the characters, but rather focuses on the relationship between the two.
Yes.
That's the direction that Tokusatsu needs to go in, away from collectibles and more away from just get the next collectible and more into the relationship between these items and their users, why they need to have them, why they are so useful, and not just a one-off episode thing. We need to prove that these have multiple useful applications, clever ways of using them.
Like Kamen Rider Double does?
Like Kamen Rider Double does. He sits there, he analyzes the situation, and you see him constantly swapping out Gaia memories because he is adapting in real time to his situation, and that's what we need to see more of.
Or X-Aid.
X-Aid's another good one.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much any of the Neo Heisei Rider, well, for the most part.
Well, I would say no to Ghost. I would say
everyone's no to Ghost.
Yep. Drive started going a little overboard, and not so much that there was a collectible.
The casino car was unnecessary.
Yeah. Drive went a little overboard. I like Drive as a season. I just didn't think it worked out. Gaim did it right. Gaim did it very, very right. Let's see.
I actually just got Gaim recently.
It's worth the watch. Wizard was pushing it.
Which one?
Wizard.
Okay.
Forze again was another one of those. I think Forze is where the problem started for me.
Okay. I thought it started with Decade.
Well, Forze is the one that started abusing the whole thing.
Okay.
Like, at least with Decade, we got little arcs through these different writer worlds, and it was poorly written to begin with. I'm sorry. Hopefully Zio does it better, but Decade was kind of like the primary example of, okay, where's the next one? And Forze just kind of rolled with that. They have different writers every season. I realize this, but like Double and O's did it well. I think Gaim did it well. Drive and Build, I think, didn't do it so well.
Mm-hmm.
X-Aid, it was riding a fine line.
It was.
And that's the pit I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that Power Rangers has fallen into. And it's why I haven't been able to get into it.
Fair enough.
And that's just my take on it. I'm hoping that when we get the gadget upgrades and stuff for Beast Morphers, they use it sparingly.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at this from a toy-centric aspect, because you get these markets that are flooded with these gimmicks, and then because they're flooded, the kids get obsessed with collecting them, like knack-knacks and pogs and marbles and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yes, I remember knack-knacks. If you remember knack-knacks, you're my friend.
Oh yes, I had a whole thing of them. I wish I still had them. I don't know what happened to them.
But yeah, it's essentially it tries to become the latest Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm. We need to do a show on knack-knacks.
Hell, you could just start collecting knack-knacks. But it tries to become one of those things, and then they throw these special edition ones in there that really you could spoof the button combination into your device anyway. You don't need that special edition. All it does is complete the collection, and that drives prices up artificially. And that's just from a collector's standpoint. Now, I'm sure you've got hopes for the story aspect of it.
Oh yes, definitely. My biggest hope is I really want them to fix what Saban screwed up from Samurai to now.
Yes, I'm right there with you.
Give the Disney era justice. The justice it deserves.
I think so. Yeah. There were definitely a lot of good seasons that came out of the Disney era.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Wild Force is probably one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Although
the reason why Wild or Disney era did so well is because Disney didn't sit over the backs of the writers. They literally gave them just 100% creative freedom.
Well, I think Power Rangers RPM was a little hastily done. They tried a little too hard to force the breaking of the fourth wall, I think.
Power Rangers RPM is considered the best amongst a huge majority of the fandom.
I know, and I'm a part of a minority on that, and it seems to me that they were trying too hard. That's what it seemed to me.
Would it be insulting if I said it was Terminator Salvation done right?
You can say whatever the hell you want. It's your head, not mine.
Okay. Terminator Salvation wasn't even that much of a good movie, at least from the fandom's perspective. So I would be that's not hard to beat.
Fair enough.
I haven't even finished RPM yet, but I love it so far.
It starts to do that collectathon gimmick thing.
I just got to the part where we meet Dr. K's two science buddies that the government kidnapped and held since trapped, and they were simply awkward. Also,
yeah, they're like the Gold and Silver Rangers.
Yeah. Supposedly one of them is actually be back in the 25th anniversary, which I think next week is the 25th anniversary discussion, right?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
And then the next week after that would be
predictions. 25th anniversary predictions.
Yeah, 25th anniversary predictions is our topic next week.
Mm-hmm. And then after it airs, because it airs in the last week of the month, we will do a 25th anniversary review as a video instead of a live stream, I think.
Yes, we will. We're going to be talking about the original Power Rangers movie at some point this month.
Yeah, we'll do that as video also, I think.
Yeah,
I think we'll do film reviews as video. I have a screen recorder now, so I'm just gonna say this. I have a new video editing software called Coral Video Studio X9, and I'm able to record what I do on my screen. So with that said, I can record Hangout chats. So I can edit.
I'm super excited about this.
Mm-hmm. And that means I can finally make our official intro. Actually, can you make the intro and send it to me for me to fix up?
I can do a rough draft anyway. It would help. Also? I can mic up. I can't guarantee the sound quality because I'm not recording directly into a computer.
I can work with that.
Anyway,
just play the rift and then sing. If you can't sing and play at the same time, play the song, and then just sing it, and then I can connect both of I can cover you there by connecting both of those together.
Okay,
I'll have you on while I'm editing, so you can tell me what's what, where what should be.
Alrighty. So anyhow, back on subject of the
Power Rangers.
plan for this month, since we're on the subject anyway, and yeah, we've got a little time left. Uh, I wanted to say, so yeah, this week we did Beats Morphers, and we're gonna go into sort of a little what's what coming up
Yeah.
in a minute. Next week we're gonna be doing 25th anniversary predictions.
Yes.
After that, we are reviewing the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which we will probably record the same weekend.
Yeah, same weekend.
Um,
It won't not Saturday though, because Saturday is my adoption day.
yeah, Saturday. So we'll probably do it like Sunday or something.
Yeah.
We'll record it. We'll sit down and we'll suss it out, and then after that, we will do the 25th anniversary review.
Mm-hmm. But I will have a video up on I will have a review up because every adoption day I get action figures and stuff like that for as a present. So whatever I get, I'll have reviews up here, and I'll be reviving my action figure reviews for this channel.
Awesome. I actually need to sit down. I might need your help editing what I've got for Chrome Dome.
Oh yeah, sure. Just email it to me what you got, and I can use my software, and you talk with me while I'm doing it.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be your editor.
Well, anyhow, so I guess now we just talk about what's new.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently, well, I'm currently trying some new stuff musically.
Oh, really?
I'm going back and focusing on like the old Louisiana boogie and Chicago swing kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A little Johnny B. Good, a little.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've spent a lot of time listening to AC/DC.
Funny story. This guy's got me obsessed with AC/DC. I used to listen to them as just something in the car, but I never took real deep thought into them until this guy got me into it.
AC/DC is one of those bands that if you're gonna be a rocker, you have to know them.
I'm already making an Angus Young cosplay, so
Yeah, from what you're telling me, you're actually learning his stage moves, right?
yes, I am.
You know you're gonna get hurt, right? Because Angus Young got hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get hurt eventually. But the thing is, there's this con I go to at least once a year, and they have the lip sync contest where you're supposed to go on stage and cosplay and lip sync a song of your choice. I'm doing Thunderstruck.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna mimic the guitar movements of him, and then in audio I'll be lip syncing while I'm doing his movements.
Awesome.
Also, but back to just to bring that into Power Rangers, I want to say this because I showed you the edit earlier, and I want to see what you think. So, you remember that scene in Power Rangers, the movie where they skydive, right?
Yes.
After seeing Deadpool 2, I was I rewatched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. I don't know the connection there, but I did, and I noticed that. Wait a minute. Thunderstruck played during a skydiving scene in Deadpool 2. How would it sound over the skydiving scene in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie? Unfortunately, I couldn't get out all the of the Red Hot Chili Peppers song out of it, but I was able to play it over enough to get the point across where you can actually still hear the audio and everything. It fits perfectly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's just like a rule for skydiving scenes.
Yeah, where it has
to be this timing.
Yeah, and it has to fit over an AC/DC song. But in its defense, AC/DC fits almost every over almost any action scene.
Oh, Key of E, 120 beats per minute, hot souped up SG through a Marshall stack. Hell yeah.
All right. Next month is September, right?
Yes.
Next month is Rock Month.
Next month is what?
Rock Month. I claim it.
Fair enough. Actually, if September does not end up being a hell month for me, which is mandatory Saturdays,
Uh-huh.
I will probably be the weekend of the 15th be going to Vermont Comic Con again.
Ooh.
I try to make it every year. If we've got viewers that are going to Vermont Comic Con in Barrie, Vermont this year, or it's spelled bar like a bar chord for guitarists, you're going to see me in my battle jacket and my hat. You're going to see these shades. Come up and say hi if you notice me. You know, I'm not a huge YouTuber or anything, but I love to meet people who watch my stuff. I love to hear constructive criticism. And I love to just talk, meet with people.
Mm-hmm. And if any of you guys who are watching doubt it, but if you guys go to ShobuCon in the end of September in Chesapeake, Virginia at the Chesapeake Public Library or Central Library, I will be in an Angus Young cosplay from AC/DC. So you see me with my little cardboard semi-realistic amp with this thing playing Thunderstruck and various other songs, along with my foam / possibly cardboard guitar and cosplay. Feel free to say hi.
Well, since we've got a little time, let's talk about that guitar. So, and if you're gonna be if you're gonna get deep into rock, you're gonna learn a little bit about the hardware.
Uh-huh.
And see, Angus uses a Gibson SG, which is one of the most physically blunt guitars Gibson ever made.
Wait, wasn't that guitar referenced in Drake and Josh? Like that was the guitar Drake got, and then Josh accidentally broke it.
The Gibson SG? I don't know.
And Josh Gibson SG. Let's see. Actually, yeah, the Gibson. That was it. That was it. Or that was one of the Gibsons, at least. Let's see. I believe. Let's see. Drake and Josh Gibson. It was this one.
That is a Les Paul.
Okay.
Which I actually have an Epiphone Les Paul. Special.
Let's see. Was it that? Oh, I'm looking. It may just be random cool images. Yeah, Gibson Les Paul. Yep, that's what it was.
Yep. Gibson made the original Les Paul. Epiphone kind of picked up the license.
Yep.
I've done some. Yeah, that's a Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me grab mine just so I can show you.
All right.
So, this is an Epiphone Les Paul special. This is not a Gibson Les Paul like you saw in the.
That's still cool.
So, let me get the headphones back on here. Now, this is a Les Paul special, which means it's the cheapest Les Paul on the market.
Mm-hmm.
That's still technically a Les Paul and not a Les Paul lookalike. Honestly, I don't want a Gibson Les Paul. But that is some guitar controversy. They're in some deep doo-doo right now. They recently claimed bankruptcy.
Oh, wow.
It was under the where they had to reorganize their finances and everything. That's the kind of bankruptcy they filed for. They're going to try again. Hopefully, they oust this CEO because he has put his workers in conditions where they are kind of openly rebelling. You're starting to see purposefully messed up guitars come out of Gibson because the luthiers just don't want to deal with his role.
Wow. Epiphone,
I know what I'm paying for. some aesthetic modifications.
Well, is it good? Are we good? I guess for the night, since we're
Yeah, I guess we're good for the night. We'll pick this up again next week.
See you later, Wiccan Warriors.
Later.